Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on how we can integrate financial model to Power BI. As you can refer over here, we do have a monthly financial model report which have the revenue and also the expenses items. So what I want to do is I want to export this data to the Power BI. So how I'm going to do? So let's get started. So now what I'm going to do is I want to go to the Power BI, and then what I want to do is I want to import data from Excel, meaning to say I want to import all this information to the Power BI. So I'm going to click this icon over here because this icon shows import data from Excel. So I'm going to click this. So once I click this, of course they will ask me which file I want to choose. So I'm going to choose the file of FM to Power BI and I press open. So once I press open, it will take some time to connect. So once it connects, you will notice that a big box will appear. So if you notice over here, a big box has appeared, and of course over here will tell you which sheet you want to choose. So I want to choose the sheet called FM, and then I want to press load. So if you notice over here, our sheet name is FM and financial model. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press load. So once I press load, it will take some time to load, and eventually it will be loaded to the data over here. You can see over here we have our data loaded over here, but if you look carefully, now we have multiple columns. Why we have multiple columns? Because over here we have multiple columns. Our model, financial model, has multiple columns. So the moment when we import this data and integrate it to Power BI, we do have multiple columns. So in this case, we need to use Power Query to massage the data. Why we need to use Power Query? Because in Power BI, if just say we want to create a data visualization, we must ensure that our report is in a proper database format, meaning to say in a proper table format with the proper columns. So in this case, if just say I want the database to create the data visualization based on a proper database, I need to do some data cleaning and also massaging. So how I want to do the cleaning? Well, in this case, I'm going to use Power Query. So I'm going to click transform data over here. So once I click transform data, you will notice that we will be navigated to Power Query Editor. So what I want to do is, as you can see over here, I only want 4 items to appear, which is the items, details, financial year and RM. So how I can do this? So what I'm going to do is, I just want to create a one particular column which shows the total expenses and also total revenue. So I go to add column, and then I go to custom column, and then once I click custom column, you will notice that a box will appear. So over here I just want to rename as item. Okay, item, and then I'm going to put this as if formula. So basically if column 1, so basically if just say column 1, as you can see over here, if column 1 is equals to total revenue, or if column 1, as you can see, column 1 is equal to total expenses, then the answer should be column 1. Otherwise, it should be null. Meaning to say, if this column 1, it has total revenue and total expenses, then it should be the answer over here. Otherwise, it should show null. So when I press OK, so now you notice that additional column will be created. So now if you notice over here, we have 78 columns. So it will be ridiculous for us to drag one by one. So what you can do is, you can just press right click, and then the menu command will appear. You go to move. So basically we are telling to move to the beginning. So once we click close to the move to the beginning, it will automatically move to the beginning. And then over here you see all null. So instead of null, we can also fill the data with the proper information. So I'm going to press here right click, and then I want to go to fill, and instead of fill down, I want to press fill up, so that now you see here got total expenses and here is total revenue. Okay, over here what I want to do is, I just want to remove this column 2, and then I just want to select the selected data. So meaning to say, I want to select, that means I want to unselect all. I want to select depreciation, so that we have the depreciation, we have the main revenue, other expenses, other revenue, and then I scroll down, we also have the staff cost. So basically we want to have these 5 items, which is the 2 revenue and also the 3 expenses, and also I want the year, so to show the year as well. So now if you notice, we do have the year. So now what I'm going to do is I want to combine this information. So I want to click this, shift column 1, I go to transform, merge column, and then what I'm going to do is I want to separate with the equal sign, and then I press OK. So now you notice it has been combined together. So what I'm going to do next is I want to do some transpose. So I click the transpose. So now it will be transposed in a proper format, whereby here we have the year and the rest columns we have all the details. And the next step is I click use first row as header, and now we have this information. So what I'm going to do is I want to click this, right click, unpivot other columns. When I click unpivot other columns, you will notice now we have the year, we have the details and items, we also have the values as well. So I can actually choose to split the column. So split by delimiter, a box will appear, and I press OK. So now here you notice we do have this item, details, and year. So let me just move this. So I'll just double click this, I'll rename this as items, and let me double click this, I put this as details, and let me just put it over here. So now this is the information, and then I'll just put this as financial year. Okay, and then over here I'll just put RM. So as you can see over here, our desired output, we want the items, details, year, and also RM. But if you look carefully in this data, we managed to do it. Unfortunately, we do have a redundant item, whereby we have all the 2024 for the year and also details. So it's quite redundant. I want the 2024 to appear, instead of duplicates, it should show the sum of details. So how I can do so is, this is where I'm going to show the group by, whereby it will group by the unique values. So instead of appearing duplicate, it will group by and calculate the sum if items. That means the total of sum if of other revenue in 2024, the total of sum if of other revenue in 2025. So how I'm going to do is, I'm going to use group by. So I want to click group by. So first thing is, it will group by, I'll click here advanced. So I want to group by the financial year, and then I add the grouping. It should be by the items and also by the details. So we have the financial year, items, and details. Next, what I'm going to do is I just want to name it as total. Okay, I'm going to put this total, and I want to put here as sum, and it will click the sum of RM. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press OK. So once I press OK, you will notice now it has calculated the sum if. So let us check if it's true. So I'm going to go here. So this is the details. So I want to highlight until this. So here if you notice is 1.32, and then over here we go, it is 1.32 million. So if we check over here, it's 240,000. So it will calculate 240,000. So I'll just want to move here. So now we do have items, details, and let me double click this, put RM. So now this is the information. So I can actually put this into a currency format, which is fixed decimal number, and then I can press home and close and apply. So once I press close and apply, you will notice in your Power BI, instead of multiple columns, now it will be in a proper database format. Meaning to say, instead of multiple columns, it will have now 4 different columns, and you can go to your table view. You can see now it is in a proper database format, and based on this database format, you can actually create a visualization. So meaning to say, if just say I want to create a chart, so I just click a chart over here. So now this is the chart, and I can also choose to click the financial year, put it on the x-axis, and then I can actually click the RM. Okay, so now this is the details 2024, 2025, 2026. But actually I can also choose the slicer. So I can click this, I choose the slicer, and I can click on the details as well. So if just say I want to know about other revenue, so once I click other revenue, you will see that this is the performance. And if just say I want to click on main revenue, you can actually see the performance over the years. So basically we can actually integrate this financial model to the Power BI.